afternoon. Today is Sunday, October 8th, 2023. And I know what you're thinking. Lonnie, what's up with the hat, bruh? Well, as you can see, I also have my Browns gear on today. But unfortunately, we're on a bye week, so there's no game today. So instead, I decided we're going to take a road trip down to Tempe, Arizona to check on our favorite college football team, the Colorado Buffaloes and Coach Deion Primetime Sanders. Yeah, that's the reason for the hat. And we're going to watch them take on the Arizona State Sun Devils, and we're going to see what happened. So, Lonnie, what happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. It took me until this game to realize how athletically stunted the Buffalo's offensive line is. That's what happened. Every time the Sun Devils sent the blitz, it was like a cannon launching a bowling ball through drywall. That's what happened. Opening drive for the Buffaloes. Back-to-back sacks on Shedeur Sanders. 3 and out, give it back. That's what happened. I've been seeing this issue since week 1 of the TCU game for the Buffalo defense, and I don't know what it is about it, but that shallow cross is like kryptonite to Superman for them. That's what happened. Buffalo's 3-yard line, and Arizona State comes out in that messy formation. Some people call it a swinging gate formation. Some people call it an open door. I call it the here comes some bull junk formation, because every single time a team comes out in that, is always some nonsense that's coming right behind it. That's what happened. Another situation of the refs not knowing the rules of the game that they're officiating because they threw a flag for a legal formation just to come back around and realize that the formation was legal. That's what happened. Anyways, they end up running a QB keep out of this situation, and Trent Bourguet ends up getting into the end zone for his first score of the night. Sun Devils up 7-0. And yes, I will be saying his name like that for the rest of the video. It sounds way cooler. That's what's going to happen. Next possession, Colorado. The Sun Devils completely stack the box and send the whole unit at them, completely obliterating the Colorado O-line. But fortunately for Colorado, Dylan Edwards has bullet speed, and he's able to get out in the flat quick enough for Shedeur to get to him so he can turn it upfield and get some good yardage out of it. That's what happened. Colorado marches upfield, 2-yard line. It's 4th and goal, and they break out the good old motion jet sweep. And Xavier Weaver punches it in for his first score of the night. 7-7, tie game. That's what happened. Next possession, Sun Devils. Here we go again. Shallow cross, a.k.a. the Colorado Kryptonite. Only this time, Melquan Stovall got the ball and met Shiloh Sanders in the open field, and open palm planted little bro in the grass like a fresh patch of rhododendron on a sunny spring afternoon. That's what happened. Boy, I tell you, like father, like son has never rang more true than it did on this play, because Pops had a similar situation at Florida State when he had his first encounter with a specific player by the name of, what was his name? His name really eludes me at this moment. I remember what his name was. It was a player by the name of Bo Jackson. That's what happened. That play alone might have single-handedly elevated his draft stock, because to do that to a Sanders boy, and that ain't no shade to Shiloh. Shiloh ain't no bum. But to do that to a Sanders boy, yeah, you got to be special. That's what happened. Colorado 2-yard line, and Cam Scatterbo, it's a heck of a name, ain't it? Punches it in despite heavy resistance and gives the Sun Devils their second score of the night. 14-7, Sun Devils up. That's what happened. Next possession, Colorado, 1st and 10. Shedeur finds Jimmy Horn Jr. upfield for a 20-yard strike. First down, Colorado. That's what happened. 3rd and 10 in the Sun Devil red zone. And this time, Colorado decides to call their own shallow cross, and they actually have Dylan Edwards open for a first down. But Shedeur was like, nah, I think I'm going to take this one in myself. So he takes off for a 17-yard run and ends up punching it in, giving Colorado their second score of the night. 14 up, tie game. That's what happened. Next possession for the Sun Devils, and Trent Bourguet was like, oh, you Shedeur Sanders? You think you're a very big shot guy? You think you all of this with a bag of chips? This very move, I do this too. And I show you this right now. I show you this very move right now. I don't know if he actually talks like that, but with a name like Bourguet, I'm just going to assume that's how he sounds. But regardless, he shows his dance moves and takes off from the line of scrimmage and ends up getting the Sun Devils a first down. That's what happened. Despite the best efforts of Trent Bourguet and his supporting cast of Sun Devils, they're unable to come away with a touchdown, so they have to settle for a field goal at the half. 14-17, Sun Devils up at the half. That's what happened. I can almost guarantee and bet money that Coach Prime's halftime speech went a little something like, hey man, let me talk to y'all real quick. Every time we send our defense out on the field, we can't stop a running nose with a box of Kleenex, okay? From my viewpoint, all I see out on the field is a bunch of puppies. I'm trying to see which one of y'all got that dog in you. I'm trying to see who gonna step up. Because from what I can see, all I see is a bunch of puppies out on the field. That's what I see. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. Somebody tell me right Now, that's not how that halftime speech. Y'all know it as well as I do. Y'all know that's exactly what happened. Opening drive after the half for the Sun Devils, and it didn't start off bad with Cam Scatterbo rushing for a first down, but unfortunately for Trent Borghe, his pocket ends up collapsing, and he realizes, mother of God, I have nowhere to go with the football. And he gets sacked. 3 and out. Give it back. That's what happened. Honestly, the third quarter was pretty forgettable. There really wasn't a lot of action. It was a lot of 3 and outs on both sides. Nothing really big happened up until the end where Shedeur took it himself a couple times and tried to run through the Sun Devils defenders and then trash talked them a little bit in sheer Sanders fashion. But nothing really big came from the third quarter, so I'm jumping straight to the fourth. That's what's about to happen. Opening drive of the fourth quarter, and the Buffaloes are marching in, because they marched the ball all the way down to the Sun Devil 9-yard line, where Shedeur finds Javon Antonio in the end zone, giving the Buffaloes their first lead of the night. 21-17, Buffalo's up. That's what happened. Next possession for the Sun Devils. Unfortunately for Trent Borghe, he couldn't get anything going. Oops, 3 and out, give it back. But this time when the Sun Devils punted, Xavier Weaver was in the back like, hey man, everybody clear out and watch me work. So he goes on to have a 50-yard punt return and brings the ball right back into the Sun Devils red zone. That's what happened. But unfortunately, after that return, Colorado couldn't get anything going, and they had to call out Alejandro Mata to kick a field goal to put them up by 7. 24-17, Colorado up. That's what happened. Next possession for the Sun Devils. They have a pretty successful drive, and they march the ball downfield, but they're unable to come away with the touchdown. So they seen what the Buffs did on the previous drive, and they were like, well, what's good for the Buff is good for the Devil. So they bring out Dario Lunghetto and try to get their own field goal up. But unfortunately, he kicks it wide left, and they're unable to convert. Oops. Give it back. That's what happened. Next drive for the Buffaloes. Unfortunately, they couldn't get anything going, including a pass from Shedeur Sanders to Anthony Hankerson that was almost picked off. That's what happened. Next drive for the Sun Devils, and they taught us an important lesson that the game is not over until the clock says 0, because they came out and they mounted a successful drive upfield that was topped off with a touchdown pass from Trent Borghe to Troy O'Meara with less than a minute left on the game clock. 24-24, tie game with less than a minute to go. That's what happened. Next possession for the Buffaloes with less than a minute on the clock, Shedeur, what's going to happen? I'll tell you what happened. Shedeur Sanders with a 55-yard strike to Javon Antonio to put them boys in field goal range. That's what happened. Alejandro Mata coming out and kicking the game-winning field goal and then hitting them with the churn the butter, dance on them. That's what happened. 27-24, the Buffaloes are up. That's what happened. Next possession for the Sun Devils, and Trent Borghe just comes out and gets crushed by a defensive lineman, causing him to come back to the line of scrimmage for the next play and run the dreaded lateral. You know, the last-second lateral that every college team does when they're down in the last seconds of the game. But unfortunately, Elijah Badger forgets that the game clock has expired and essentially runs out of bounds, ending the game. 27-24, Buffaloes win. That's what happened. All in all, it was a pretty sloppy game on both sides, but they still found a way to get it done. As I said before, I didn't realize how stunted Colorado's offensive line was. Every time the Sun Devils sent the blitz, they were busting through there. That pocket was collapsing like Legos, but they still found a way to get it done. Shedeur was 26 of 42 for 232 and 2 TDs, so he had a pretty good game. Anthony Hankerson and Javon Antonio, they both came through when it mattered. Alejandro Mata, 2 field goals, 100%. If they miss both of those field goals, they lose that game 21-24. So as far as I'm concerned, he's the most important player. That's what happened. I don't know what they're going to have to do in the defensive meeting, but they are going to have to find a better way to defend that shallow cross, because every team that they've played this year has consistently eaten them up with that. That's what happened. On the Sun Devil side, Trent Borghe, he was 32 of 49 for 335 and 1 touchdown, so he had a monster game. That was crazy. Cam Scatterbo, he showed up when they needed him to. He had a touchdown early in the game, but they mostly used him for short yard third down conversions. Elijah Badger, 12 receptions for 134 yards while averaging 11 yards a catch. Like, he did pretty good. But unfortunately, they just weren't able to bring home the win. So, you know, hats off to the Sun Devils. Good game. Congratulations to the Buffs. You know, hard-fought victory. You guys earned it, and I think we'll end this one right there. I'm not sure if I'm going to cover the Ohio State game or not. That's another good game that I watched. I might cover it, and I might cover the Cowboys and 49ers game later, since my Browns have to face the 49ers next week, and, you know, it'll be good to see what they're bringing to the table. So I may cover those, I may not, but I think we'll end this one right there. Till next time.